Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Renessa Renee, and today we are going to get into some skincare, my skincare routine, the skincare routine that works for me and my dry skin. I'm not an esthetician. That's always my disclaimer. I'm not an esthetician. I just know what works for me and my skin. So come along this journey with me and let's talk about self-care while we do some skincare. I love steaming my skin. Like, it's something about that steam that just relaxes my face. And I can feel like my face just, whatever was clogged into my pores is now opening up, and I love it. So I'm going to use the Hyaluronic Watermelon Glow Clay Pore Tight Facial. I love Glow Recipes products, and this is one of my favorite masks. I used to try to do, and I'm saying used to try to do my skincare at least once a week, like a deep clean, a deep facial, and I haven't been able to do that lately. A lot has really been going on in my life the past year or so, and it really got hectic within the last 4 or 5 months. Just dealing with some personal things that are going on that maybe I'll be able to share eventually, but right now it's just a little too heavy. But you know, there's just, it's life and life is just a life thing. So I have to take better care of my skin. I can't neglect my skincare routines, which I have been doing an awful job at. So I'm just going to rub this on my face. Usually I use gloves, but I'm going to actually just use my bare hands. And I always start with the clean face. I didn't have on any makeup or any product today at all. That's how bad my skincare routine has really gotten. If you know, you know. And notice I'm only using one hand too, because like I gotta wash this stuff off, and I need I need one hand free, one hand clean. So I'm gonna make sure I put this on evenly, and I really love this mask because it has a very fresh, like a, I don't know, it's like a fruity scent to it. I love fruity scented stuff, and it has like it smells good. It's a soft scent. It's not real heavy, but I do like it. It has some little granules in it, so I know it's actually also exfoliating my skin. I want to put a little bit more on my forehead because yeah, that's better. But I really like this mask, and I got some on my ear, but that is okay. I want to make sure I get in all the nooks and crannies on my face, even here on the side of my nose. Be careful not to get in your eye. And let this sit for about 20 minutes. Let it do what it do. And I feel it already. Like, I think using a facial steamer before you do any skin mask is clutch. Like, it's a good feeling. My skin, it feels clean already just from the steam. So if y'all not steaming, if you don't have a steamer, get you one, okay? So while this is drying on my face, let's chat. What is self-care? Everyone's definition of self-care is different. I guess it depends on you and your lifestyle, what season you're in your life. For me right now, self-care is not letting things stress me. I pray a lot. I go to church and I do things like watch TikTok videos and, you know, TV, but sometimes that can be depressing. So I try to stay away from like certain videos, certain TV shows, certain movies, anything that's going to be triggering for me, because if it's one thing that I've learned is that I am responsible for my own triggers. I cannot hold you or anyone else accountable or responsible for what triggers me. So therefore, I have to first notice what triggers me, why it triggers me, how it triggers me, and then confront it and try to change it and eliminate those triggers as best that I can. Granted, that may not always happen because, you know, we're in certain situations where we're in sort of uncontrolled environments like work, the grocery store, you know, things like that around other people. So we can't always control our environment. I like to be in control of my environment. My house is my safe space. It's my comfort zone. It is the place where I find peace the most other than church. And, so I don't invite a lot of negativity in my house, if that makes any sense to you, because I don't like a lot of company. I don't like a lot of people around. I don't like a lot of different spirits around. I try to stay away from anything negative or anything that will bring me down. So by taking care of myself and my self-care, you know, I meditate. Sometimes I'll come home and I won't even turn the TV on. Or I'll come home and take a nap and think, you know, oh, I'm just going to lay down for an hour. And here I've been asleep for like 5 or 6 hours. But I noticed that my eyes were aging fast. Like bags, darkness, all of that. I was just like, girl, you got to get it together. Like, you don't even look the same. You look like what you're going through. And my mom always taught me, if you look good, you feel good. So I decided to take control today of my self-care and do some skincare. I also like to do things like I did a little retail therapy today. You know, that was a little bit of self-care. And just, you know, of course, spend the money can be stressful, but, you know, the pleasure of being able to buy something to make me happy. And, you know, really the only thing that I bought that I didn't need, but I got it to make me happy, was some slippers at Sam's Club today. So I didn't wear them yet. As a matter of fact, they're still downstairs in the package. I just brought them in the house because I have to clean around here. I don't like to put on new slippers when I gotta clean. Like, I wear my old ones, and then when I clean the house and everything, then I can put my new slippers on and, you know, walk around the house or whatever. Self-care is about staying healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy. That includes eating. I have been neglecting myself with meals, and you know, there was a time where I went through a really, really bad breakup, and I was like a size 16 when I met him, and we were together for a long time. It was a big mistake, but it was, you know, it was a lesson. And when we broke up, I fell in such a deep depression that I went from a size 16 to a size 10 and then to a size 8. And I didn't realize how much weight I had lost until I saw a picture of me. And I was like, girl, you really lost yourself. And it didn't hit me until I was able to finally talk about the breakup with people. And I was telling a group of people that I know, friends slash somewhat family. But I was telling them about, you know, my testimony. And they were like, oh, we thought you lost a lot of weight because you was And I'm like, why didn't y'all tell me? Like, y'all should have told me that. Tell me next time. You know, it's okay. I like for people to be straightforward and upfront with me. There's a way to tell people something without breaking them down. And, you know, although, you know, they've known me for a long time, they weren't as close to me, they felt, to tell me something like that. But, you know, nobody told me. Nobody said, Renessa, you're losing weight, or, you know, Renessa, is everything okay? What's going on? And because I've never had a complex about my weight. Like, I've been 200 pounds, I've been 150 pounds, I've been 130 pounds. My weight's been all over. But it wasn't really until that breakup that I noticed, first of all, my stomach ain't never been flat. Maybe once. But, so, you know, that I've always been comfortable with what I look like until I saw myself wasting away, if that makes any sense. So, you know, once, I don't want it to get to a point where it's too late, you know, that, oh, dang, I need to take care of myself. I don't want to do that. I need to be my healthy self. I need to be my best self. You need to be your healthy self. You need to be your best self and take care of you. Self-care is important. Another thing that made me realize the importance of my self-care is that it's not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. It's not saying F the world, F everybody else. Self-care is, to me, is just saying, listen, I need a minute to regroup and get myself together, because you cannot pour from an empty vessel. So if there's nothing left for me to give, that means I have nothing for myself. So I can't give you something. It's just like this can of ginger ale. Until I drink it all, it's full. But once I drink it all and I go to pour it back, nothing's going to be there. I have to replenish. I have to get more. So self-care to me is not selfish. It is just saying, listen, I just need a moment. Might be a couple hours, might be a day, you know, whatever, vacations. But, you know, self-care is just, it's not selfish. Don't feel bad about taking time for yourself to get better for yourself, because it's nothing like being erratic, emotional around people, and, you know, you just have a nervous breakdown, which thankfully I've never had. But I've been in situations where I blew up. You know, I had to cuss a couple people out, had to throw a couple blows, throw a couple things. And that's not me. And when it gets to that point, that's when I realized I've really been neglecting myself. So because of the tremendous amount of stress and pressure that I've been under, that I am under, I just think that taking this time for myself right now is going to be really helpful for me, especially with the holidays coming up and things like that going on. Self-care is not selfish. Please remember that. Self-care also requires you to do daily checks with yourself. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, how are you today? How do you feel? Do you know there are some songs that really speak to me when I hear them? And one of those songs is Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige. I'm a big Mary J. Blige fan, so if you didn't know, you know now. But Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige. I love that song, and I love the testimony behind it, because she too felt, you know, she was in a dark place, and, you know, she was going through what she was going through with her husband, and, you know, she had to tell herself, good morning, gorgeous. And see, sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader. Sometimes you have to be your best cheerleader. Because if you're not going to root for you, other people aren't going to root for you. You are your best cheerleader. Don't seek validation from others, because people will disappoint you. Don't disappoint yourself. So Good Morning Gorgeous to me is really that song. It's one of that song. So now that my face is so fresh and so clean, I'm gonna put on this sheet mask. This sheet mask is from Sephora. If y'all never used Sephora sheet mask, oh my goodness. and I had it in the refrigerator. I really love their sheet mask. They have some for the eyes and also for your hands too. And I also like to have my steamer going, but not really directly in my face when I put on the sheet mask. And it is, there it is. I like to make sure that it's straight. Because it comes in this little pouch, I like to actually squeeze, because there's always a little bit of juice in it. It's real juicy. But I like to, see all of that goodness coming out of there? I like to take that and really rub it in. Oh, this feels so good. I'm going to take my little eye roller and really sit this on my eye. This is cold. I keep all of this in the refrigerator. And then I have my little thing here. That's cold as well. And it is dripping, baby. So I'm going to let this sit on there for another good 10 minutes before I take it off. The good thing about this is it doesn't need rinsed off. So that's why I do this after the other mask that I do, because these don't get rinsed off. Like, I need my lip. I need my lip. But this is the hydrating and brightening mask from Sephora. One of the other things that I've neglected besides my skincare was the content. I have really neglected content, and I feel really bad about it because it was a form of therapy for me when I started, and I wanted to continue to be therapy while also making a few coins too while doing it. But you know, I have to be consistent with creating content. And so getting back to my regular skincare routine is going to help me with that. Getting back to creating content consistently is going to help with that, because that's like my therapy. That's like my outlet. So I am going to make a vow and a promise to myself to be consistent with content and take better care of my skin. So those are two things that I'm working on first. Now I can peel this off. Oh, the satisfaction from this little sheet mask is amazing. And I like to rub it in just to make sure that it's in there real good, real good. I'm running low on these, as you can hear. But I'm going to do my 24 karat gold eye mask from Kiss'r Skin. And I love these eye masks because, again, like I said, the stress, the pressure that I've been under these past few months has really been taking a toll on my face. And I don't like that. So I don't care what anybody say, black don't crack. Black crack if you don't take care of it. Okay, let's stop that nonsense. Some people have good skin though. Don't get me wrong. Some people just have good skin. They don't have to do much of anything to take care of their skin. But as for me and my face, yeah, baby, we need some extra help. Cause life be giving it to you, girl. Be throwing punches sometimes. I tend to sometimes take on other people's problems, and I have to get out of that. Like, I can't let everybody's problem be my problem. Granted, there are some situations that I cannot control, like what I'm going through right now. You know, this is a situation that's beyond my control. This is a situation that is beyond anyone's control that's involved. So, you know, the only thing we could do is try to pray and be there for each other. And I shouldn't say try to pray. the only thing we can do is pray to get through this and try to come together as a family. And, you know, sometimes that's hard because everybody processes things differently. Everybody goes through things differently. Your level of faith might not be like the next person's level of faith and vice versa. So, you know, it's one of those situations where it's out of my control, but I can't totally ignore it. Only thing I can do is just pull back, you know, and take some time for myself. And talking to my pastor, one thing he told me was, you have to take time to make time. So, you know, we have time for a lot of things. And we can take the time to check our email. We take the time to check our social media. We take the time to watch TV. We take time for everything else. When are you going to take time for yourself? And that's the most enlightening thing that really made me wake up and realize that I have to take better care of myself. And in order to do that, I have to make time for myself to take care of myself. So that's a principle that I've adopted recently, is to take time to make time. And I make sure that I make time to get enough sleep. I take time to eat. I make sure that I pray every day throughout the day. You know, there are things that I have to make time for in order to promote my own well-being overall. So now into the fun part. I'm going to take my little glycolic acid from The Ordinary. And I love these little exfoliating things from Target that I got. So now I'm going to take my Pixi Glow Tonic, and oh, my skin feels so soft. One other thing I don't like to do when I do my skincare like this, I will not put on makeup tomorrow. Like, I really like to let my skin breathe when I do a deep cleansing, because I don't like to do all of this hard work just to throw layers of makeup on. Now, I do clean my face every day. Don't get me wrong. I do make sure I wash my face and I use all my toners and moisturizers and all that good stuff. But a deep clean like what I just did, I try to do at least twice a week. And I used to set aside days. Saturday would always be one of my days because on Sundays I very rarely wear makeup to church. So Saturdays was always a good day. And then during the week, I would try to do it on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. And I told y'all I've been using this rice toner. So I usually put on about a good 2 to 3 toners, depending on what I'm trying to combat at that time. And right now, I'm just trying to wake my skin up. I'm trying to brighten my skin. And I want to moisturize my skin because it's getting cold. I've also been using this double serum by Clarins. I love this too. I love that they send me a lot of skincare products. I love it. And I love the smell of this. Like, I don't know, it just smells kind of sophisticated. It's not a harsh smell. And I've learned too that with any skincare product that you use, in makeup also, that if you're going on vacation, do not try a new skincare product the day before, week before, 2 weeks before you leave, because you don't know how your skin is always going to react to things. So you want to give yourself time. Like, if you have a reaction to something, you don't want to go on vacation and your face just breaks out. So I never try a new skincare product right before I'm set to go on vacation. This is the Snail Mucin. Y'all know about that Snail Mucin, don't ya? If you don't know, now you know. This stuff is what saved my skin too. Using this Snail Mucin, and I like to get under here too, under my chin and my neck, because that is a part of my skincare too. When I match myself for makeup, I don't like to match just my face. I like to match here because I don't like to bring my makeup down because I don't like makeup on clothes. Like, I hate when I see that. When I was younger, the church that I grew up in, the lady, she wore, and that's when like your mamas and your aunties was all wearing fashion fair, and that was the only makeup that we really had for black women. And this lady had she would always have makeup on her clothes, and I would just be like, I don't want my makeup to do that ever. So I don't ever bring my makeup down. When I match myself for makeup, I match myself for right in here so that it's one consistent color. I'm gonna put my eye cream on. This is the double serum, because remember, my eyes are also the focus, because baby, they look like what I'm going through. So this is the double eye serum from Clarins. I really love this stuff too. I know it sounds cliche, I'm saying I love everything, but everything that I'm using, I obviously love it because it works for me. It's been working for me. And these caffeine drops from The Ordinary, y'all, I love it. This has also been a lifesaver for my under eye, because I'm sure they would look a lot worse. Like, when I saw my video, I was just like, girl, you really got to get it together and take care of yourself, because it's so important. Because as women, we tend to take on a lot of responsibility, and sometimes we can get lost in our responsibilities, especially when it comes to taking care of yourself. Your overall health and your well-being depends on you and no one else. So I have to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to ensure my overall health, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So I also like to use the Cosrx Snail Mucin cream. So that was the essence that I used first, but I like to also use the cream, and the cream got a little, you know what it looked like. But yeah, I just rubbed that in. It feels good. I love it. Like, my skin just, it looks like water, glass skin, when I use these products. And like I said, I have dry skin, and my worst problem is right here on my forehead. So I like to make sure that my forehead is always really moisturized. So now I'm going to put the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow. This is the Alpha Hydroxy Night Treatment. And it's very watery, like, you can't really see me. This is self-care. Like, I really feel relaxed, rejuvenated, revitalized. Another moisturizer I like to use at night is the Fenty Skin Instant Reset. I really like using this. This is a little thicker. So when you do your skincare, you want to put the thinnest products on first, and then the thicker. So you want to go from thinnest to thickest. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. And I just want my skin to just bask in this greatness. So while I'm letting that sit, because I have one more step to do, I am going to scrub my lips, because baby, you can't forget about your lips. So let's wipe that off. And I like this one because it doesn't get all over my face. So I like that. I'm going to take my Tatcha lip mask. Even though I'm gonna eat in a minute. I'm gonna eat me a little snack. I am. But I'll make sure I have this by my bed so I can put some more on after I eat. But as long as my lips are exfoliated. And the last thing I like to put on to seal the deal, because I want to hold all that moisture in, and this thing is so hard to open nowadays. It's not the product, it's me. But to seal the deal so that all these products can really get deep in my skin is I like to use an oil. And this is the Farsali Volcanic Elixir. And I just really take a few drops. Again, like I said, my forehead is really dry, so I like to focus on my forehead nowadays. And then I'll put some on the rest of my face. And this is kind of thick, so you don't need a lot of this. But I'm looking like a freshly glazed donut, honey. Freshly glazed. Hopefully you can find something out of this video to add to your skincare routine and it works. But these are my tried and true products. Like, I've been using these products for a while interchangeably and they work tremendously for me. So find a skincare routine and a skincare product that works for you and your skin. Well, I hope you've enjoyed taking this time to make time for skincare, self-care, and I hope that you too will take time and make time for yourself. Take care of your health, your overall physical, mental, and spiritual and emotional well-being. Don't let life stress you out. Things you cannot control, let it roll off your back like water on a duck. Be productive, be safe, and God bless. No one else can make me feel this way. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning.